Hey guys, today welcome to episode 2 of Cooking by the Book, where we'll be making Hamburger Helper. Here is a list of ingredients that we'll be using for the first half of the video. The ingredients and the steps for the first half and the second half of the video will be in the description below. Let's get started. I had to stop by 2 stores to find this. Didn't know how hard it actually was to find the exact cheeseburger and macaroni. Good thing Target had it in stock, so yeah. And just looking in the back, Hamburger Helper looks pretty simple. Surprisingly, you actually need to buy the ground beef. So we're gonna just brown this ground beef for I guess 6 to 7 minutes as instructed by the box mix. And you know, just a little concerning that you're not adding any oil to brown this beef, but no, ground beef maybe is okay. And we're not adding salt or pepper. And the sodium level is actually quite insane. 31% of your daily value. And that's only for 1/5 of this total mixture, so yeah, not too excited about consuming this later. It's been about 2 to 3 minutes, and as you can see, the color has changed, but this is like gray at best. This does not look brown at all, and you'll probably see like there's a lot of liquid right here. It'll eventually evaporate, so you know, don't drain it too early, and just wait patiently. It's like mostly brown. Like some parts are brown, some parts still slightly grayish. I'll take it for now. So there's not much liquid in the pot right now. However, part of instruction 1 is still to drain the meat after, so we're gonna need to drain this. Generally, not a lot of people know what draining the meat means, and it's literally what a lot of people who want to eat healthy and very cost effectively would do is they would buy ground beef and they'll put it in a strainer or a colander like this, and they'll get a napkin and they'll literally press out all the fat that's in the meat and like all the juices. Like when you eat a hamburger, you like the juicy burgers, right? Nah, like Hamburger Helper, they want you to like take out all that juice. And yeah, as you can see, like it's slowly seeping out. Not the most pleasant thing to do, but you know, I gotta listen to Hamburger Helper because he's trying to help you out, right? And now we'll just add it back into the thing. Yes, nothing like dry meat for dinner. But knowing Hamburger Helper, they want to help us out with this dry meat, so we'll be adding milk. And we'll also be adding some water to replace all that, you know, fat that we just lost. Good thing Hamburger Helper got our back, right guys? We also can't forget about the pasta. Is that all they give us with the... And last but not least, the sauce mix. And should have kind of cut a bigger hole, but you know, we do it. Low-key feel that we got more powdered sauce than actual pasta. But yeah, let's see how this turns out. We're gonna heat this to boiling, I guess. Yeah, kind of just gonna stare at this yellow white mixture. So yeah guys, make sure you guys don't forget to stir this. I almost forgot, and yeah, it would have been really bad if you don't stir this because nothing's worse than cleaning burnt milk on the bottom of a pan. If any of you guys ever, you know, encountered this issue. Alright, so it's finally boiling, and then now let's just, you know, put the lid on top and reduce the heat. Just remember, don't forget to stir occasionally because no one wants to clean a burnt pan. You know, just stir it up. It's actually looking not bad. Like, actually looks like cheeseburger and pasta. So yeah, I'm pretty glad it doesn't look as bad as it looked earlier. Alright, so I don't know how the consistency level of this is supposed to be. It's been a little over 12 minutes, and I'm gonna say this is pretty much done. So give this a wrap, and yeah, time to try it out. Ooh, the sound this makes is so cool. It's like squishy, but anyways, let's try this out. Oh, this is really hot. Hopefully you guys can see the steam. Overall, I would give the instructions a 5 out of 5. It was very easy to follow. As for the taste, a 1 out of 5. Unless I was forced to eat this again, I don't think I'll be making it. So you guys might be thinking, damn, that's a pretty low score for Hamburger Helper. So luckily I bought a second box, and we'll be doing a revamped version. Instead of just doing a regular cheeseburger, this will be a black and blue hamburger. Here are the ingredients for part 2 of the Hamburger Helper video, the revamped black and blue version. And similar to part 1, the ingredients and the steps for part 2 will be located in the description below. Let's get started. We slice this onion so we can make a nice caramelized onion, because who doesn't like a caramelized onion on their burger? So we just quickly chop this. And you know, if you can't chop this, then don't worry. Like, you can use a mandoline if you want, but I think mandolins are the most dangerous thing in the world, at least in kitchen gadgets, because you can easily slice your finger off. So yeah, good time to practice your knife skills. After chopping the onions, we're going to add it to a pot with a little oil and make sure the heat is on medium. And then we're just going to add some salt just to help break down the onion and release that natural sweetness of the onion. So you know, mash them down a little, you know, mix them up, and then yeah, we just got a lot of time to wait. There's some bacon here, and since we want a very quick dinner, we're just gonna cut this bacon into more usable chunks, just so they cook a little bit faster. And the trick to cooking bacon is to make sure you have a cold pan, such as this, because if you ever cooked bacon before, you probably have noticed that your first batch is always the best batch. So we'll try to make this in only one batch. Since bacon is really high in fat, you don't really need any oil. Just, you know, slowly place the bacon into the pan. Make sure the burner's on, and yeah, just make sure all the bacon pieces have enough space in the pan so that they all crisp up nice and well. You can also cut these into smaller pieces if you like, but I find it more satisfying, at least, to see it like when they're all like nice chunks. So we just moved the onions to the side, and now we're going to be working on the actual Hamburger Helper part. So originally in the original recipe, that they did not ask for any oil in the pan, but I want to add a little extra oil just to help the meat brown faster and add a little extra flavor, because you know, fat is flavor. Just gonna grab our ground meat, then we're just gonna plop, and yeah, push it down. As we break down the meat, it's important to note that you should add salt. Always season your meat, you know. No matter what Hamburger Helper says, season your meat. So I just added some salt. Here's some black pepper. We're also going to add a tad bit of cinnamon. It's a little adventurous, but you know, if you want some extra flavor, cinnamon does help. And some garlic powder, because I like garlic powder. You can season it as what you like. Like, if you don't like garlic, don't put garlic powder in it. And now we're just gonna slowly break down this meat and cook it. Make sure your heat is on medium high, because I clearly forgot. So yeah, just start, you know, beating your meat or beating your mince. Yeah. This has a bigger flip. Now, as you can see, I should have got a bigger pan. So yeah. But you know, bacon's still cooking. It's just gonna cook in its own fat. So yeah, should be exciting. Make sure you make sure your onions don't burn. If they need a little extra oil, add some oil. Just, you know, make sure these break down as much as possible. I'm going to also add some cayenne pepper, because a little spice in life never hurts. So this is more of a personal preference, but as you can see, for this ground mince, I left it into a little bigger chunks just because I like bigger chunks of meat rather than just everything being extremely small. And yeah, if you want more of like more of a bite to your Hamburger Helper, I suggest not breaking it completely and just keeping it like small chunks such as this. So the bacon is pretty much all cooked, and we're just gonna transfer this over to a clean kitchen towel. So the mince has been cooking for a while, and as you can see, there's some brown pieces, like nice crunchy brown pieces, and some nice big meat chunks. And now we'll start adding the liquids. Looking like this extremely small portion of pasta. And some powdered sketch sauce mix. As you guys can see, we didn't drain out the meat because I wanted to keep the extra meat fat. If you want to be health conscious and drain out your meat fat, then feel free. But if you are health conscious, then you probably shouldn't be eating Hamburger Helper at all. So for this, you bring it up to a boil just like last time, and you make sure you mix it from time to time. And when it starts boiling like this, you just cap it and reduce the heat to medium. Since we got some extra time to spare, might as well try some bacon. We'll just chop up some bacon. And you can break it to any size you like. I like it to be pretty fine, because I find that for toppings, fine bacon is better than big chunks of bacon, so that the bacon does not overpower the overall dish. However, if you're not a big fan of Hamburger Helper, feel free to cut your bacon slices a lot bigger. That might be able to hide some of the taste. So we just added panko to a plate. You can make your own breadcrumbs if you want to take the extra mile, but I don't have the time to take the extra mile, so we'll be using pre-store-bought panko. I'll just be adding our bacon to it. Since bacon's already a little salty, we don't want to add too much salt, but a little salt goes a long way. So we'll just add a little salt. And since we don't want our breadcrumbs to burn later when we put our Hamburger Helper in the oven, we just add a little bit of olive oil. And now we just mix it. The onions are pretty much good to go. At this rate, I'm happy with the color. So I'm gonna just transfer it to a small little bowl. We just cut half an onion and this is all that's left after it caramelized and broke down. So if you want to make bigger batches and store in the fridge, it stores in the fridge pretty well for about 2 to 3 days. And you can pretty much add it to anything really protein dish like. It would make anything taste better. So we're just also going to add some Kraft Singles to the sauce mix, because since Hamburger Helper is already pretty processed, I didn't think it was, I guess, cheesy enough. So we're just going to thinly slice some Kraft Singles and add it to the sauce so it melts down. And hopefully we get a better cheesy texture to it. Just top this off. I'm just gonna plop it in. And make sure you guys stir, because you're gonna stir that processed cheese in to this already processed sauce. Hopefully, we'll have a much better consistency than last time. So we're gonna stir in the blue cheese, and if you don't like blue cheese, then that's perfectly fine. Don't add it in. Since the theme is gonna be a black and blue burger, I just thought we should add some blue cheese into the Hamburger Helper itself. And of course, we'll also top this off with some more blue cheese. We're also going to add some Sriracha, just because Sriracha is some nice heat and some extra sodium. So about 2 tablespoons. Just slowly mixing it. Also gives it a more vibrant red color. And yeah, even though it's clearly not done yet because it's still very soupy, we want to taste for seasoning, because now is the time to adjust if needed. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Probably a little more black pepper. And we'll just let this simmer down. So I kind of like this consistency where you use the back of your spoon. It's like you're splitting the Red Sea. So the way we're going to do this is, first we're going to add the Hamburger Helper into the ramekin. And then, because we ain't savages, we're going to clean the edges with a wet paper towel. And we'll just clean it to the best of our ability. And just for presentation. So now we're going to add the caramelized onion to the Hamburger Helper. And we'll just gently put some on the whole surface, just so when you eat it, you get a bite of everything. Now we're going to top this off with a little more blue cheese, just so you really do get that punch. I wouldn't put a ton on, but this much blue cheese is fine. If you like a little more blue cheese, feel free. But I think that's fine. And then we're just going to top it off with our bacon panko. And we're just going to top it up and try to cover the whole surface so that you get a nice even crisp. So that should be good. Actually, a little bit more, doesn't hurt. We're gonna put this onto a tray covered in aluminum foil, and we'll just pop it in the toaster oven. I'm just gonna put it on broil just to toast up the top, and make sure you keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. Probably about 1 to 2 minutes depending on if you preheat your oven. I didn't preheat my oven or conventional oven, so it'll probably take a little longer, maybe 3 to 4 minutes. So after we removed it from the broiler, probably about 2 to 3 minutes, it should look something like this, nice and golden brown on the top. And yeah, time to dig in. For the black and blue Hamburger Helper revamped version, I would give it a 4 out of 5, but that's pretty biased because I made it. So I asked my friend Lizzie to stop by and try both the original and the revamped versions. So that's the regular one.
I don't want to eat this. It's not as bad as I remember it being. It's still pretty bad. Pretty bland. I give it a 1 out of 5. If it was the one I remember eating, I would have given it a negative out of 5. Ooh. Oh no. I have to do this tactfully. I like the onions. I like this a lot better. I think I would give this a 3.5 eggplant.
Thanks for getting to the end of the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you guys end up trying out the revamped recipe, let me know how it was in the comments down below. Till next time.